welcome, and people are just getting off the bus, so hopefully it's a lot quieter than it was when we tried before. But anyway, today's topic is the NBA playoffs, and I'm going to give it to Jackson to start to talk about his pick for the finals.
Hey, yo, go Cowboys. All right. For the finals, I'm going to predict, this is for basketball, obviously. For the finals, I'm predicting the winner of the finals to be, now that I analyze it, the San Antonio Spurs or the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think last time I said the Warriors are going to make the finals, but, you know, I analyzed a little bit more, and I think it'll be hard for them without Curry, obviously. I mean, they prevailed in the regular season, but the regular season isn't the playoffs. So,
Basically... You said it's hard for them without Curry.
Yeah.
No. Did you see their last few games? They've blown away.
I know.
A lot of their guys have stepped up. Sean Livingston. I think they need to keep him as a starter until Curry gets back into rhythm. Because if you saw that game 4, was it game 4 against the Rockets? It was tied 56-56 at half. Curry was out of rhythm. He wasn't hitting any three-pointers. Now what happened in the second half? Warriors took the hell off. They won by a dang lot. The Rockets, well, they weren't a bad team, but they didn't have a great record. I mean, they were pretty dang stacked, right? They just were fighting all the time. Then that pressure they had all year to, So to break that record kind of helps them in this postseason where all that tension is there still. So I think that if the Spurs aren't the team to make the finals, it's Warriors.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying.
She did it.
It'd be either the Spurs or the Warriors in the finals.
Come on, it's a good background.
Zach,
Yeah.
you saying that the Warriors, you think they'll be able to blow away teams?
Well, they've been able to. Look at that first Trailblazer game. They won 4 straight on the Clippers. They just ended a good winning streak.
Yeah, but you got to realize that when the season or the playoffs go on, they're at some point going to get tired of not having their star player, and they're going to be facing even better teams each time. So it'll be
that feels weird.
Even harder.
Hello. That didn't even hurt at all. Yeah. Well, anyway, the Warriors they've just been full of surprises this season.
They're doing something for their gay YouTube channel.
You have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's Sports Kings 101.
Sports Games 101.
No, all you gotta do is put ads on your videos.
Sports Kings 101.
Anyway, so I do think the Warriors are going to put up a good fight. They're definitely going to beat the Trailblazers. I'm not going to lie. They're going to blow away the Trailblazers because the Trailblazers rely way too much on Damian Lillard to have big games.
Yeah.
Other than that, they can't win a game.
I mean, I don't think they rely so much on Damian Lillard. I mean, you got to see they got Millsap and they got Teague. That's
Why are you guys talking about basketball?
Teague and Millsap
awesome.
aren't
It's not even basketball season.
Never mind.
It's a playoff.
Sorry for that. Sorry about
Baseball
that.
season.
Who's this?
I think I said that in the last video too.
Joe's.
But so they do rely a lot on Damian Lillard. I biffed when I said, they got Teague and Millsap. I did that last video too. Sorry about that. I'm just thinking about the Hawks right now too.
Yeah, the Hawks. That was a good series. Yeah. I knew they were going to beat the Celtics, though. I just knew. Kyle Korver was amazing.
I didn't. Korver was in rhythm sometimes.
I kind of like the Hawks more, though, because they have, Jeff Teague, Kyle Korver and all that.
Yeah, Kyle Korver, they got Millsap, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. But the Celtics, my favorite team.
No.
They're my favorite team. The Celtics are my favorite team, because of their history. But I thought the Celtics series was going to be interesting. I mean, because the Celtics have Isaiah Thomas Jr. and we also... Dude, stop. There's nothing in there. We had Isaiah Thomas Jr. and you know, we got Jared Sullinger, Marcus Smart, Avery Bradley was in for, I believe, like one of them. You know, there was RJ Hunter, Jordan Mickey. So, I mean, the Celtics don't really have a star. We just have a really deep roster.
Yeah, and that's the
I
thing.
think the Hawks have that, but not as much.
Well, the Warriors, they're just stacked, but they've got depth. I mean, every single one of their backups is, like, pretty well known. Like, Harrison Barnes, his backup is Andre Iguodala. Everyone knows Andre Iguodala, pretty much. Then, like, let's see. Curry, Sean Livingston, he's beginning to get popularity. So, really, I've just been shocked by all that. But you want to know the number one underrated team in this whole postseason is?
What do you think?
Miami Heat. They have become, well, for the first half of this season, they were a little slow on offense, but after that, they picked up the pace and did great that second half of the season. Chris Bosh was injured, and that's kind of when they took off. And Chris Bosh eventually found himself back in rhythm, and that's just when they started winning games. The one thing I don't like, though, is how this postseason has been kind of exciting for, like, one main reason. Horrible reffing. Like, horrible calls.
Yeah.
James Harden. Warriors. I don't know why I said that. James Harden. Offensive foul. Turnover. Warriors could take it in 4 games.
Yeah.
And then Dwayne Wade was fouled by Cody Zeller. I could see that from like a mile away. That was an obvious, horrible call. Dwayne Wade would have probably made those 2 free throws because he just did great.
It's kind of like, I'd like to mention one of the worst calls in NBA history. It's kind of like, this postseason hasn't been that, you know, bad calls, but that horrific calls. But I think it was Bill Laimbeer or something like that back in, I can't remember when it was, but he was with the Pistons when the Pistons had, you know, Isaiah Thomas Sr. and all of them. That was a really bad call. He did not touch him. And this is what the NBA postseason has kind of been like, you know, bad calls like that, but not as bad, but there's still been very bad calls.
Okay, you know, so there's like this controversy about the NBA that they fix games or all that type of stuff. Like there's like these controversial things, like they stage picks or whatever. And so there was like this thing back in like 2000, was it like, I don't know, but Shaq and the Lakers like were having bad like problems, and the David Stern, the guy who was the NBA commissioner then, said, and then he was asked by the press, who would you want to see in the NBA finals? Lakers versus Lakers was his answer, okay? So a little bit of history lesson. And so what happened, the Kings were stacked that year. They were way better than the Lakers. Somehow the Lakers made it to the Western Conference Finals. And guess what? Lakers won that somehow. And so people were making this controversial thing about that. And so maybe, because there were some bad calls favoring the Lakers, tons of them. So maybe that, like, I don't know, conspiracy theory is what is happening now.
And if you look back at it, I believe it was Michael Jordan. I believe he pulled aside a ref, and he was talking to the ref, and he said something about how it was a technical, or he pushed me with 2 arms, or you know, 2 feet or something like that. I can't remember. And the ref was like, oh, because I really only saw 1, and Jordan was like, yeah, it was 2. And then the ref was like, oh, okay, I didn't see that, buddy, you know, I believe you, Jordan. I believe you, buddy. And then the ref was like, technical, and he called it on the other team just because Jordan said so. So that could be fixing, you know, the games back then in favor of Jordan. So Jordan's legacy, you know, could have been all fixed. All of his legacy could have been fixed.
I don't know about that, because still, the NBA, if you threw me or Jackson in there and they were fixing the game, our team would pretty much suck. Like, if we were the starter, we would not do good. I mean, you can't just fix the game like that. You still have to have that talent part.
Yeah, but if you look at it, with LeBron James doing it today, and, you know, Jordan doing it back then, every era has its great player, you know, the player that, this is the NBA. if you don't look at, if the NBA was to be a business that was completely all based off of talent, it wouldn't make any sense. You got to, there's obviously...
There's got to be excitement. Like the WWE, that's all fixed. You can just tell.
Yeah, but like with the NBA, they're trying to make money out here. So with the Bulls back then, the NBA would...
Guys, I gotta get out, so Jackson might continue the video.
The NBA would make money if they buy merchandise. Like maybe the Bulls had a deal with the commissioner or the NBA, or maybe even all the teams, that there was a fraction of the money will go to the Chicago, a fraction of the money will go to all of them, and then a fraction will go to the Bulls. So, you know, it's interesting. No. It's interesting that stuff like that could happen. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah, but back I believe it was the 70s. You know, 1970s. I think it was something like that. You had the Celtics. They won 11 championships. I'm a Celtics fan. Keep that in mind, and Cowboys. But I'm a Celtics fan, right? I think that some of that had to have been fixed. I mean, obviously there's Bill Russell, but if you look at it, no one man has really carried a team, except, you know, Allen Iverson. No one man has carried a team to an NBA championship. You might say, oh, Michael Jordan did, but no, it's Scottie Pippen. You might say Curry did. You had Draymond Green, Iggy, you know, Klay Thompson, people like that. You might, even in the NFL, no one man has really done it. You might say Tom Brady. Well, that is honestly true, but I mean, every single time that he has won something, I believe it was like, because one of them was because Vinatieri, one was because Pete Carroll was dumb, one was because of Deflategate, and you know, there was a whole bunch of stuff that the Patriots have done to cheat. So that's the reason that Tom Brady's been so good, and the NFL could be fixed too, who knows? But no one man has really carried a team. So I think Bill Russell, maybe back then, the games were fixed in favor of Bill Russell because it was a marketing, it was a franchise, and they're trying to make money, and so is the NBA. They're trying to gain popularity. Or, not popularity, popularity and stuff like that, so they're trying to get this good team going, like back with the Packers, you know, back then. And then people say, shut up. Dude, people say that back, can you guys get away, please?
Okay.
And
we want to be in a video. We're going to say, then I'll put my...
People say, sorry, they always
Hey, get off in the house.
they always come up to me, and I know they just want to be my friends. So I'm friends with them, I just don't want them in a video. And they're gross, they're just bad. Okay. So yeah, gaining popularity, so a lot of this stuff could have been fixed and you don't even know about it. So I think if the Warriors make the playoffs, or not the playoffs, make the championship and win it, that could be fixed. I mean, you know, it might be trying to gain popularity, but another thing that the NBA, I mean, if you look at it, no one man can carry a team. So it's crazy what the Celtics did. So I think that that was fixed back then. But I mean, they won 11 championships. So with the Warriors, I think the only way that they're going to be able to go super far is with Curry. I mean, Curry just adds that extra you know? So, yeah, I feel like I'm just mumbling. We're just talking for no reason. Alright, peace. Actually, no. No, not peace. Just one sec. Okay, so, and in terms of, make sure to tune in next time for our NFL draft stuff. Alright, peace. Tune in next time. And this is your NFL Insider, Jackson City. Make sure to tune in next time. Alright, peace.